What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, come here, baby. As you can see by the title below, this one's Elvie this time. Oh, she's so much smaller. Look at her. I love you. We're going to talk about losing power, okay? Why do women lose power so many times with men when it comes to relationships or whatever the hell it is, okay? Now, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Just click the red button below. I love you forever, along with the bell notification. And if you want to get my course, Attraction Academy, which talks deep detail on these kind of topics, link is down below, okay? So, I want to put this up first. I put this up minutes before this, well, not minutes, but within an hour of this video, and thank you for the fast responders. But the fact that 50% of women, almost 50% of women in this poll believe that women don't know their own worth or value, that's an issue. So I had to make a video on it. Okay, that is a big issue, and I don't know where this comes from. Well, I kind of do, because I do believe that a lot of women know they have value, but they don't know how much they're actually worth, okay? And I think there's a lot of reasons for this. I think some of it's internal and some of it's external, right? I mean, it just doesn't come out of nowhere. But I think a lot of women, it's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious circle. Like sometimes I think you get into it with a guy and you start caring too much, and then you fear, then that's where something happens. Then you fear losing him, or you desire him to the point where you fear losing him. Maybe you're afraid of being alone. Maybe it's the fact that you guys invested 3 months into this guy, or this guy took your fucking virginity, or this guy, it's the idea of hope. Like this guy painted a really good picture and he does like you, but he's not looking for a relationship, but you're not going to walk away because what if he changed? Like all this, I mean, it could be a million effing things, okay? But I think the reason women lose a lot of power is because a lack of negotiation skills. And let me get to what I mean by that. Let's say you go into your boss's office and you're negotiating a salary. Okay, not that you ever have to prove something to a man, but a man is going to challenge you. Okay, and a man is going to try to have his cake and eat it too. That's just human nature. Man and women do that. Okay, but when you're talking to your boss, everything is evidence-based. Your boss is going to look at it and say, okay, well, why do you deserve this? And then you have to challenge it. Not that you ever have to prove yourself to a man, but a man is going to challenge you, and you have to be able to negotiate your position. And that's not so much by saying, well, hey, I'm this. Oh, this is why. This is why. This is why. This is why. These are the reasons you should date me. That's not how you should do it. But you have to have the negotiation position of, hey, I want this. If I don't get it, I'm going to walk away. My mentor, Corey Wayne, always says the one with the strongest negotiation position is the one who is willing to walk away or state what they want and walk away if they don't get it, basically, okay? And that's very true. And I feel like what happens with a lot of women is they don't walk away. Two things. When it comes to the interaction, I think women are too accessible, too available, too eager, too interested. And there's nothing wrong with that, to an extent, but I do think just human nature, people take it for granted, okay? And I think that's what happens. When a guy's not sure what he wants, not even a guy who says, no, I don't want a relationship, not the player, not the narcissist, maybe the guy in the middle who doesn't know what he wants yet, and he's shopping around, okay? He's on Tinder, you're both on Tinder. And I think he's going to run with it just naturally and get all these benefits without having to pay the bill, okay? Without having to sign the dotted line, which is fine to an extent. I use the analogy of gym memberships and Netflix and things like that. It's okay to give someone that free trial. So it's all right to give someone a little test run, to go out, say yes to when the guy asks you out and to go on these dates. But there has to be a cutoff time. You just can't keep giving that to the guy, right? Because if you do, you lose value, you lose power, and the guy's going to go along with it. You have to have that negotiation position of being able to walk away and mean it. And I think a lot of the times women lose power for these two things. I just kind of said them. I think women are too eager, too available, not desperate, just too available because they like the guy. Two different things. And I think they're not willing to walk away when they don't get what they want. I promise you, if you walk away, right, when you don't get what you want, men are going to chase. Women always walk away when it's too late. I always talk about a graph, like, you know, this is his interest level and this is kind of when it dies off. Women always pull off over here when it's diving off, when it's pulling away. Well, if that's the case, or he's losing interest or pulling away, whatever it is, if that's the case, you're doing him a service. You're doing him a favor, because he's always kind of like, right? So if it's like this and you start pulling away, why would he chase? You need to do it over here where you're at your highest value, right? Hey, a lot of coaches do this. I have kept my price forever, but a lot of coaches do this, for example, where, you know, when you start getting a lot of clients, a bunch of people, a service-based business, and you start getting a lot of customers. Well, the only way to scale is to raise your price. Okay, I mean, and that's kind of the same. This is kind of the same thing. You need to raise your price when it's at its max over here, when it's on the incline. But a lot of women, you know, if a guy goes 0 to 150 miles an hour, women tend to go along with it, and they make themselves accessible. So even to the point where even though you don't say anything about me liking you, or you know, I really like you, man. You're a great guy. You don't have to talk about futures. You don't have to talk about feelings. Just the fact that you're so accessible, so available, tells him through actions, against the negotiation, that, okay, I got her. Okay, not saying you gotta play hard to get. Not saying you gotta be a cold bitch, because I think that is going to be a disservice. I think that's going to put you at a big disadvantage. But you gotta know when to cut it off. When too much is too much, basically. It's like, okay, you know what, dude, we've been talking for this is our 6th or 7th date. What are you looking for? And you know I tell women you gotta wait 6 to 8 weeks. I say that in terms of like the fact that you're seeing the guy at least once a week. Once you see the guy around 6 times, you need to say something, because now it's just the guy knows what he wants after 6 dates, okay? You got to say something to the guy. But if you're on 3 months now and you're seeing the guy 12, 13, 14, 15 times, that's a problem. You know, he's not going to sign that dotted line if he doesn't need to. You got to know your worth, okay? You're up here. You might think you're here. You're up here, though, okay? But a lot of women, because it's dating is emotionally based, they try to justify, not qualify a guy, okay? Don't justify his actions. Don't justify him. Know your worth. Have some guidelines. If he doesn't meet those standards or guidelines, he's out, okay? So with that being said, ladies, I love you. Take care and peace.